Fans, welcome to CHI Health Center Omaha for tonight's Pro Volleyball Federation Championship semifinal match. Tonight's second match features the San Diego Mojo and the Omaha Supernovas.
Welcome back to Omaha, where you're watching the second semifinal of the Professional Volleyball Federation on CBS Sports Network. We know who is advanced to half of the semifinal, I should say the final and the $1 million match on Saturday. The second semifinal between San Diego and the homestanding Supernovas of Omaha. And as mentioned just briefly, in 5 sets, Grand Rapids advances. Amelia Dimitrova, Claire Chaussee were absolutely brilliant when they needed to be. And now it will be either Omaha or San Diego playing in the $1 million match at 4:30 Eastern Time on Saturday. With 3-time Olympian and All-American at UCLA, Holly McPeak, I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks again so much for joining us. The first semifinal was spectacular. We'll have a chance to recap that even further and talk about the impact of those injuries that unfortunately happened to Atlanta. But let's talk about this one. Your thoughts? Once again, the season series was 2 apiece, and we really have to focus on the setting position as we had Ashley Evans in the first match doing such a good job.
I love the setters for both teams. We talked about Nutsara Tomcom. She won setter of the league, and she's so creative in the way she keeps her team in system. She knows how to put hitters in good spots to score, and she's just a pleasure to watch. Great energy, and I'll tell you, when she's on the YouTube live stream, the numbers go way up from Thailand, like 100,000 up. So hopefully they're watching today. But Nutsara Tomcom has San Diego playing their best volleyball of the season. On the other side of the net, one of my favorite setters to watch because of the way she competes, Natalia Valentin Anderson is just relentless. A great competitor, fantastic defender, and I'll tell you, she knows how to score and set her hot hitters. She and Betty De La Cruz have lots of history together, and they plan on going for that $1 million.
Both of these outstanding setters are making hundreds and hundreds of decisions during the course of this contest, and absolutely a blink of an eye. Who will come out on top? It could be one decision that turns the title. We know that Grand Rapids has advanced, and now will it be San Diego or Omaha? We'll be back with First Serve right after this. The home crowd could certainly have a big impact on this second semifinal for the Supernovas. They were 9-3 during the regular season, 16-8 overall. San Diego closed very fast after starting just 1-5 at 13-11. Now let's take a look at our starting lineups, brought to you by Wren Athletics. First for San Diego, they've had to make some adjustments because Kendra Dahlke out of the lineup for the last couple of weeks with an injury. We're getting to their starting lineup. Here it is for San Diego. Lindsay Vanderweider has been on an absolute roll. Thomas Eilera, Ronica Stone, Willow Johnson. Back from Korea, playing very well. Ali Bastianelli, this is a really good middle blocking combination. And Tom Com at the center, and Shara Venegas, another exciting and lightning quick libero. Now the starting lineups for their opponents from the home standing Supernovas. They're the number 2 seed coming in. Betty De La Cruz, we've talked about her a lot, and we will throughout the course of the night. Brooke Nuneviller, an unbelievable all-around player. Rastina Vučkova, Tori Dixon, a world champion in 2014. A wonderful late-season ad from Turkey, former 4-time All-American Stephanie Samity. Natalia Anderson, as you talked about. Natalia Valentin Anderson, the setter, and an All-American, former Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten. Another good libero in Kendall White. Going to be a very good matchup, and we expect more of the same that we saw in the first match, a 5-set win for Grand Rapids over Atlanta. Moments away from first serve, and let's send it over to the sideline to the third member of our team here in Omaha, Madison Fitzpatrick, with a unique combination on the outside for the homestanding Supernovas.
Well, it's probably the most powerful outside hitter tandem in the league. Brooke Nuneviller and Betty De La Cruz. And Betty De La Cruz calls them the vet and the rookie. And Brooke Nuneviller says she has loved being able to be instructed, molded, and taught by Betty De La Cruz. It's really been a great relationship for both of them. And Brooke Nuneviller said there's no one else she would want to go to battle with here tonight.
Battle they will. San Diego once again really coming on. Won 4 out of their last 5. Taiba Hanif Park, an interesting story, getting their season turned around. There is Bird Kuhn, 4 years as the head coach at Texas A&M after a very, very successful run as one of the top assistants in the country at Kansas. And she was living life. Bird is the right nickname for Laura Bird Kuhn because she was free as a bird, and then the call came from the Supernovas. She's officially listed as their interim head coach, replacing Shelton Collier right at the beginning of the season, but she's come on and done a wonderful, wonderful job on the sideline, as has Taiba Hanif Park. Most recently, an assistant at the University of Oregon, a 3-time Olympian, silver medal in Beijing and London, 11 years with the USA national team, his son and daughter, also along with this, and did the do and did the outfit in the Mojo colors.
Style points for sure for Taiba.
Absolutely, I could not pull that off.
Neither could I.
My wildest Nutsara Tomcom, 5'5" out of Thailand. In her 16th year as a professional, she's played all over the world, in her native country as well, but also in Turkey, Azerbaijan, and Switzerland. Third in the league in assists at 10.6, but she is an incredible magician, and she's accurate and just finds a way. Thailand always ran a very, very complex offense. The only reason they could do it was because of her presence. There's Kendall White, ever ready at the libero position, averaging 3.5 digs per set. There's Valentin Anderson, but most importantly for White, 60% good or perfect pass, and we're underway. De La Cruz, the first swing, you'll see that an awful lot. She rarely gets blocked, a lot of high flat. Out of the back row, Nuneviller with her first swing, and that is slowed. Willow Johnson too tight to the net. She had to just keep that in play. And Tori Dixon, one of the keys for Omaha. They've been very pin heavy, but the middles are getting much more involved. There's the world champion, Tori Dixon, wearing number 6.
Both middles for Omaha have been trending in the right direction offensively, already solid defensively. 70 and 62 blocks between Dixon and Vučkova.
Tori Dixon, 28 of her last 60, a very, very good percentage. Oh, nice dig. Valentin Anderson diving into the cross court in area 1. Off the top of the block, Ali Bastianelli. Oh, they didn't call a touch. I thought that there was a touch there for sure. So we're just underway, and we're going to have a challenge. Valentin Anderson, what a good read in anticipation.
I love her defense.
Valentin Anderson, 5'10", out of Puerto Rico, and at pro ranks, 4-time setter of the year in the Puerto Rican League. Has played in France, Italy, and Poland, and also competed for
Diego is
Rico
challenging
in
a block
Rio
touch.
Olympic Games.
Did you say 5'10"?
I did.
I would say 5'7".
I'll have to check my
Check your numbers.
I'm checking
But look
right now.
Yes, look at her next to Kendall White. They're similar.
There's the touch. Ali Bastianelli off the top. All right, I'm changing it. I didn't bring my white out, so I'm changing it.
I have white out in my bag. I'll give it to you later.
Okay. Tammy Thomas, Ilara. And a little bit out of position. She's normally, I don't want to say, oh, nice block. Good cover. Samity keeps the ball alive, and Bastianelli, wearing number 10 in blue, able to tap that ball down. Bastianelli, 6'3", out of Marysville, Michigan, University of Illinois graduate, 3-time All-American, played most recently in France.
The best blocker in this league statistically, Ali Bastianelli for San Diego.
1.1 scoring blocks per set. That's a really good number, and Bastianelli again with some help from Willow Johnson.
Looks like Omaha trying to force their middle, and San Diego ready. They're bunched in to try and help, and Willow Johnson there for the assist with Bastianelli.
Willow Johnson was originally signed or assigned to San Diego, but then got a huge offer to go play in Korea. She played out that season and then joined the Mojo late. Van der Weide, her first swing. Samity, Venegas on the floor. Van der Weide again. Kendall White. And can't keep that ball in play. White with a pretty good dig, but got to get that ball to the 3-meter line. Give your players. What is the addition, first of Willow Johnson, mean to San Diego, and then we'll talk Samity and the Supernovas.
Well, we talked to Taiba Hanif Park, the head coach for San Diego, and she said, look, Willow Johnson can score, but even more than that, she's got a great serve and plays really nice right back defense, and then she can hit out of the back row. So if she struggles offensively, they've got Morgan Lewis, but she's in the match for those other reasons, not just her offense out of the front row.
Willow Johnson, the daughter of Hall of Famer Randy Johnson, the big unit, average of 2.8 kills per set, and a couple of digs as well. You see that heavily taped left wrist. I asked her about it. She sprained it. She said it's just fine. No way I'm missing anything. Off the top of the block, good overhand dig by Dela Cruz, and then the nice score by Stephanie Samity.
We talked to Brooke Nunaviller about Stephanie Samity and said, look, she's not super loud, but she gets the job done. Good body language, eye contact with her teammates, and we have a lot of trust in her.
Samity wearing number 21 in the white jerseys, 4-time All-American, twice the Big Ten Player of the Year, and Bastianelli and the middle's off to a very good start. And also from TomCom, got to give a little tip of the cap to the receivers for San Diego.
Nutsara TomCom's so good at getting her middles involved offensively.
Good start for San Diego. They went on a quick 4-1 run to take the lead, working on Dela Cruz. Everybody does. Nice block. Ronica Stone out of the middle, right on cue. 6'2" middle blocker. Also from the University of Oregon. Played most recently in France and Austria. Had a wonderful season. #1 in the league in hitting efficiency at .336.
But Omaha needs to move their middles and attack more in the gaps, not just straight ahead right at the middle blockers for San Diego.
Pressure on Dela Cruz. Over the top, dug easily by TomCom. Van der Weide. That ball is in. And Dela Cruz, Betty Dela Cruz says that ball is in. Let's move on. And once again, if you're not familiar, Bolt 6 challenge system. The headquarters are in Frisco, Texas. No lines, people. The lines are judged electronically, and you cannot challenge that phase. Every serve going to Dela Cruz, and she's been pretty good. TomCom out of it with the first contact. And then Willow Johnson misses that ball out of bounds. Fifth meeting on the year, 4 during the regular season, as Holly talked about right before we came out for first serve. 2 apiece. A lot of parity among these 4 teams. Oh, big block. Brooke Nunaviller fired up from last night, from yesterday. Fired up for life.
Well, Brooke Nunaviller is dialed in, and she is up and over the net quick. She's played with and against Willow Johnson, very familiar with one another. Huge stop at the net.
There is a lot of Oregon influence, University of Oregon. I don't want to say it. How would you describe Oregon? They're a solid, perennially NCAA-ready program for years and years. We've gotten to the first media timeout. Taiba and Park dressed certainly to the 10s to get in for that big money match.
Pro Volleyball Federation and celebrate this historic 2024 championship event with your with 2 unique designs to choose from. Meat Lumber is the proud sponsor of the Pro Volleyball Federation with 53 locations in 9 states. They supply home builders and homeowners with quality building materials.
Pro Volleyball Federation on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Franklin Sports, a proud partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation on CBS Sports Network, and by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Good start for San Diego. The Mojo carrying that indeed, aptly named after a 1-5 start. Some of it was schedule driven. They played their first 3 matches on the road against some of the top teams in the league and then had a very, very long break, and it was hard for them. They wanted to notch a win. Nunavilla already with a stuff block, working against Willow Johnson. Nunavilla, like we saw before with Claire Chassé, certainly one of the best all-around players in the league. Samity on the over dig, able to put that ball away. Once again, Stephanie Samity, number 21, a late season addition after her first year in Turkey.
This ball goes to Brooke Nunaviller. She's a rhythm attacker. San Diego digs it, and Stephanie Samity just cleaning up that tight ball.
It can be a very dangerous server. Good velocity, pretty well handled, coming out to Van de Weyden. And missed that out of bounds. One of the things that you notice from Tom, her location is exquisite. Irrespective of the pass, every ball is completely hittable.
That's what makes her fun to play with, and that's what makes her team go. She's also a really nice server and defender.
Van de Weyden, a very heavy ball off the top of the block and out of the reach of the defense of the Supernovas.
Lindsay Van der Weyden had 30 kills last week in their last regular season match. That set a league record for most kills in a match.
Well handled by Nunaviller. That was a good flat serve. And speaking of that, high flat, Venegas trying to track that down. What do you like? I know that you really like Brooke Nunaviller, but what about her game? What makes her special as a competitor?
The way she reads the game, she's dialed into every little detail, 100% effort every play, and she's just so mindful in her approach to the game. You see her at serve and pass, or whatever she's doing on the court, she is locked in to maximizing what she has.
Good block deflection, giving Dela Cruz an opportunity. Tom back to Stone. Good blocking one-on-one that time by Dela Cruz again. Thomas Ilara over the top of the block, and Ronica Stone hammering that on the overdig.
Nunaviller for Omaha almost comes up with that dig on the open net swing from San Diego.
Ronica Stone played all 24 matches, and speaking of getting your middles involved, she gets just under 5 swings per set. That's a lot for a middle blocker. Kudos to the passers like Van de Weyden and Venegas. Samity off speed out of the pipe, and San Diego cannot quite get there.
Ronica Stone leads this league in attack percentage, very effective out of the middle. Look at Omaha run this ball. Little soft touch right to the middle of the court, gets away from the San Diego defense by Samity.
That was good use of the soft shot because everybody expected her to really go after it. Kristina Vučkova, 6'2" middle blocker out of Sofia, Bulgaria, on to serve. Years ago voted the best middle blocker actually this past year. Played in China in the fall. Best middle blocker in the Chinese league.
Really nice gap set by Nutsara Tomcom. You're right, her location just time after time in a really great location for her attackers, especially in the middles.
At only 5'5", what she might give up as a blocker, she certainly makes up for getting her hitters in perfect position each and every time. Stephanie Samity once again off to a good start, off the edge of the block.
Block timing a little off for San Diego. Thomas Ilara up in the air early and just gets used.
Samity 4 of 8, no errors so far, hitting 500. Good serve and well handled by Venegas. Look at Nuneviller. That was a rip by Bastianelli. Tom taken out of the play. You want to get to the setter, have somebody else try to make a play. Nuneviller, dig on target. And Betty De La Cruz. I mean, she's hit over 900 balls. Her error rate is less than 10%. She just does not make mistakes, and her contact on the ball as an attacker is impeccable. Tied at 11.
When I first met her, I shook her hand, and she has gigantic hands, and her hand contact on the ball is something special, the way she moves it all around the court.
Willow Johnson, a little wrist away off of Stephanie Samity, and both teams siding out at a pretty efficient rate.
The left hand of Willow Johnson on that left pin, tough to stop. Quick ball down that line.
Thomas Aguilera. When we spoke with Taiba Hanif Park this morning at Serve and Pass, a lot of talk about serving short.
They wanted to disrupt the Omaha offense in some of the offensive patterns of the hitters.
Betty De La Cruz, #1 in aces in the league this year. 32 service winners. Vanderweide dug again by Nuneviller. She's got like 3 digs, and big-time digs. That is perfect. At the 3-meter line, Nuneviller up to recycle the point. Having to hurry. Look at that set location. Omaha ahead in the point. Right side to Samity. Timing not perfect, but the ball is down. 5th kill on 9 swings, no errors for Samity.
And Natalia Valentin Anderson very confident in her right side attacker to end this rally, going back, and then huge seam to work on. Tomcom almost comes up with that dig in the gap.
Oh, beautifully handled by Thomas Aguilera. The ball control is at a really high level right now on both sides, either in reception or in defense.
High level of defense for sure. Omaha best in the league at that, but good response, high, flat, deep into the court for San Diego.
Omaha right now is receiving at 64%, either good or perfect, as Bastianelli. Former Fighting Illini will go back to the line. 69%, both of these teams either aren't serving tough enough or they're passing lights out. It's probably a combination of both. The winner of this will play Grand Rapids in the $1 million match. Another high flat. Really, really good work by Brooke Nuneviller.
San Diego loading up on Nuneviller, making her pass and side out, just trying to put the pressure on her, and she likes to be in that rhythm.
Look closely at her left wrist. More on that in just a moment. Very unusual. Oh, nice play by Ronica Stone. Brooke Nuneviller is wearing her Apple Watch. And we thought a couple weeks ago, great, she's making money. She's making a lot of money. She's got an Apple sponsorship. And I asked her about it. She says, no, I wish. Maybe you can talk Apple into it. But she was not scheduled to play a match. So she warmed up and she put her watch back on. And then she had to go in the match and she just wore it. And they haven't lost since. So she's not taking it off. Usually it would be against the rules. It's against the rules in college. It's against the rules internationally. But it's not against the rules in the people. So a little bit of gray area there. But Brooke Nuneviller not taking that watch out. The other day at practice, I asked her what time it was. So,
little superstitious keeping that on.
15-14 coming up on our second media timeout, and off the top of the tape, Willow Johnson. A little bit of a cutter a la Randy Johnson, the big unit. So we've come to 16 media timeouts at 8 and 16, so we'll step aside. Second semifinal just underway.
Franklin Sports is the provider of the Real Pro Volleyball, the exclusive ball of the Pro Volleyball Federation and the ultimate volleyball for world-class professionals. You can get your Franklin Real Pro Volleyball today at franklinsports.com.
Tomorrow night at 9 Eastern, your favorite backyard sport turned pro ups the ante for some top-tier tossing. Don't miss the Las Vegas High Rollers as they face the Texas Bully Baggers in the American Cornhole League Team Championship right here on CBS Sports Network.
Are you a Bully Bagger or a High Roller fan?
I'm a big fan of the Bully Baggers.
Okay, that makes sense.
I love me some Bully Baggers. Have you ever watched that? Have you ever watched that?
I have.
Really, they don't miss.
No, it's incredible.
They don't miss.
It's a skill.
Willow Johnson out of the timeout. Every serve trying to get to De La Cruz. Very good dig by Venegas again. And the run continues for San Diego. Leading 17-15. Quick set to Ronica Stone. It's dug by Valentine Anderson. And Samity out of the back row. Venegas with a dig. There we go. We got it back quickly. Great work by our crew, both here and in Kansas City. Valentine Anderson, I'll tell you, this is a real battle. You usually don't talk about battles between setters. Big decisions. Where do you go with this? Vuchkova, no. Nunaviller, number 5 in white for another kill.
Natalia Valentine Anderson really good at pushing the pace to the left pin. So Ronica Stone, the middle blocker for San Diego, has to chase, and you see her late on her press, and that's why Omaha's able to score on that one.
And the quality first contact by libero Kendall White got Omaha ahead in that point. Samity. Thomas Aguilera has been really good in reception, and she's usually an opposite that does not receive. Nunaviller again, challenging Willow Johnson. Free ball. Vuchkova wants it back to Nunaviller and missed it out of bounds.
I'd love to see Omaha establish their middles. Vuchkova's working hard to make herself available. That will open things up out on the pins.
We're going to have a challenge that there was a touch.
Challenging block touch.
There you have it. Referees have switched responsibilities. Suzanne Lowry goes from number 2 to number 1, and Michelle Prater is now the second referee. Once again, 2 challenges per set per team. If you're correct, you basically have an infinite number. You can challenge touch off the block. You cannot challenge ball in or out. That's done electronically. You can touch 3-meter line foot fault, center line foot fault, and also foot fault on the end line. So we have got a challenge. Your thoughts of what you've seen so far? San Diego, both teams receiving at a very high level, maybe serving they picked up a little bit on both sides.
Yeah, I think as Omaha came out and they wanted to really force their middle, and then they went away from it, and now they've become pin heavy again. So a little bit more balance, and that's something Bird Coon talked to us about last week. We need more back row attack and more middle.
Thanks so much for your patience as we continue our coverage of the second semifinal between San Diego and Omaha. We had some technical difficulties. Stepped aside momentarily. Lindsay Vanderwide out of the University of Oregon will go back to serve, with her team leading still 18-16. And against a dear friend and teammate, Brooke Nunaviller. Boy, did they go to war a bunch of times. Vanderwide with the dig. Plays the total game. Thomas Aguilera with a rocket. Maybe to Stone. No, quickly again back to Thomas Aguilera. I am so impressed with number 19, Temi Thomas Aguilera. Out of Glenwood, Illinois, first at Northwestern, then to Wisconsin, 6'2".
And Nutsara Tomcom pushing the pace to her, and that's why Vuchkova was late on that block out of the middle.
Very interesting what San Diego went through. I mentioned their tough start. 0-3, all of those matches on the road against some of the league's best. And then they had a 13-day break. Sounds familiar, right? And Taiba Hanif Park used that period of time because the players wanted to play faster, but there were too many errors in that mix because there are two good setters in August Raschke, also out of Oregon, there you go, and Nutsara Tomcom. And then there was a meeting of the minds, and Taiba Hanif Park and her lead assistant, Dietrich Collins, also an Olympian in 1988, got things to slow down a little bit, and they have been on a run. Again, they started out, as I mentioned, 1-5, 2-6, and nobody got off the ship, and here they are with a chance to play for $1 million in the $1 million match on Saturday. If I had a vote, which I didn't, people are smart, they didn't want me to vote, I would have voted Taiba Hanif Park for Coach of the Year.
Yeah, for good reason. She's done an amazing job after the slow start, keeping the team together, and buy-in was really important according to her.
1-5 to start, 12-6 since against a league, as you've already seen, with a lot of parity. Going to the hot hitter off the edge of the block, Valentine Anderson. Sports Center worthy, she's already been there. Another perfect set. Nutsara Tomcom is something special in the world of volleyball.
I mean, we talked about the special setters on both sides of the net. Look at this deflection, and then the turn and chase by Natalia Valentine Anderson. And then the fastball to Temi Thomas-Ailara by Nutsara Tomcom.
Nutsara Tomcom, even from 12 feet off the net, has a special ability to hold the middle blocker just by looking at, whoa, Vuchkova is stuffed by Thomas-Ailara, but to finish the point, and you said at a very, very high level, she just gives you that little bit. I could go against the flow, but then she holds and goes left side and creating some seams even when they're out of system.
Temi Thomas-Ailara, beautiful solo block for San Diego.
4-0 run, keeping the ball on De La Cruz. Good block deflection. Van der Weide will track that down. That was not a good set. A rare miss for Tomcom. Overpass, joust. Smart play by Vuchkova, Kristina Vuchkova.
Vuchkova for Omaha trying to make things happen, mostly on the defensive side. Hasn't been able to get much offense going quite yet.
Second in the league behind Bastianelli in blocks per set. There is Nunaviller. That is so perfect. That is one of, just sitting on a platter, just come beat the heck out of this thing.
And the decision by Nutsara Tomcom, she's attacking the smallest blocker on the court, and Temi Thomas-Ailara is up high contact point above the smaller block.
Tomcom is technically perfect and also brilliant in her thought process. Trying to take Willow Johnson out of the play, and a much-needed side out once again by Betty De La Cruz. Had a very happy Mother's Day celebration with her teenage son, Fer Mahia. Paige Briggs at 17 kills. This is a very deep Omaha team. 5'10" out of Ortonville, Michigan, 3 times an All-American at Western Kentucky. He's got a heck of an arm. Oh my goodness. Temi Thomas-Ailara is putting on a show on the left side.
Well, she's scoring at will, but I'll tell you, it's the first contact of San Diego that's allowing them to run that very efficient offense. I mean, if you're Omaha, you are the best serving team in the league. You got to step it up and put your foot on the gas against San Diego.
Thomas-Ailara, 2 points away from the opening set. I'll give you her numbers after this, something that's very surprising and very important. De La Cruz off the edge, but back to Thomas-Ailara. She's 5 of 10, no errors, 500. She's passing at 67%, and they've served her 6 times. It's not like it's a small sample size. Natalia Valentine Anderson. She and Sydney Hilly really battled for the first almost 2/3 of the season as to who the starter would be. Sydney Hilly is an outstanding setter in her own right. Bastianelli able to get that ball down away from Kendall White, which is no small feat. Set points, now 5 of them. And San Diego, we talked about the home court advantage. San Diego right now has silenced this big home crowd.
And it's something we talked to Taiba Hanif Park about before this match. She said, look, these people are cheering. We don't know they're not cheering for us. Let's turn it into our own crowd.
Thomas-Ailara, set point number 1. That's a lollipop, just keeping that ball in play. Quickly to the outside. Rotation number 1, not put away by Samity. Good job flying in is Kendall White. And the kill. good, smart. I say it over and over again. If you're a young attacker on the pins, you have to have the high flat. You must have it.
Turning defense into points. Here's a little soft touch. Look at Kendall White sliding under, and then Samity flat off the defense.
The best setter in the league in terms of aces back at the line, but a big differential to make up 4 set points. Look at Thomas Ailera just handle that, and Van de Weyde off the top. Temi Thomas Ailera was absolutely lights out in that opening set. In reception, in defense, and attacking was absolutely superb. All San Diego in the opening set on the road in Omaha.
Temi Thomas Ailera, perfect pass and then a kill in the corner for the San Diego win in the first set.
All right, Coach, you dropped the first set. What adjustments do you need to see in set 2?
We need to clean up our management of their pins, obviously, and then we need to get more balance in our offense. But we knew it was going to be a battle, so we got to get after it offensively.
Good luck, Coach. Thank you.
Thank you, Maddie, and Coach Laura Bird-Kuhn from the Supernovas. Brooke Nunaviller will get you all the numbers, but your thoughts on the opening set, and there was a big disparity, and Bird-Kuhn had it exactly right. I mean, Temi Thomas Ailera hit 500, and as a team, San Diego hit 380.
On the season, Omaha holds their opponents to 207, and they let San Diego hit 380 in that opening set. Tougher serving, and I'll tell you, Temi Thomas Ailera really responded well to the service pressure.
Starting in row 1, Bastianelli right on the sideline, and that cannot be challenged. Bastianelli really would look at the numbers and the big disparity, of course, in the hitting category. And Bastianelli got him off to a good start, they being San Diego, in the blocking category as well.
And the dig category.
Yeah, that's a really good solid number. And also for San Diego, Bird Kuhn was talking about some balance, and she had it exactly right. But on San Diego's side, Lindsay Vanderweyde, look at this. Johnson with 3, Stone with 2, Bastianelli with 4, Vanderweyde with 5, Thomas Aguilera with 5.
And that's balance.
Makes it very difficult to defend. Lindsay Vanderweyde out of Turlock, California, was traded by Omaha. Early season training camp. Buchkova on the slide, Vanderweyde right there on cue. De La Cruz. Very rarely gets blocked. You got to be ready to cover and play defense. And Lindsay Vanderweyde again, and you pointed out she was 30 of 58 against Orlando on May 9th.
I think the blocking statistics and the way that San Diego's touching
wearing the libero jersey for San Diego, the gold jersey out of Puerto Rico, 14 years of pro, a lot of that divided between Brazil and Puerto Rico at a very high level right now. Short serving again to good effect. Quick early lead for San Diego. Out of the middle again to Bastianelli.
And Nutsara Tomcom so confident to locate that ball to Ali Bastianelli in the middle. That gap set, and Ali Bastianelli is long. High contact point, driving it down in the middle. Not only is she a defensive weapon, but she can score as well out of the middle.
Statistically, the most efficient or best blocker in the league. Buchkova is second. Bastianelli at 1.1, and another short serve. If you're Omaha, what's the adjustment here by Bird Kuhn as far as these short serves? Well, we're going to find out about that when we come out of this very early and needed timeout. Omaha, the number 2 seed, the number 1 seed. Atlanta has already lost. Grand Rapids has advanced to the championship. The match for $1 million coming up on Saturday at 4:30 Eastern time, and San Diego rolling out to a 5-0 lead after taking the first.
The lower seeds coming out way more aggressive today so far. I mean, we saw the upset in the first semifinal, and now the 3rd seed, San Diego, just taking control of things.
Well, Holly, we had a chance to see all of the teams in the league, and the level of play has been so good, the parity has been so good, that this doesn't surprise me. And when we were setting up before first serve of the opening match, we were talking about, is Atlanta the favorite? Yes, unfortunately they suffered a couple of in-match injuries, but wouldn't be surprised if any of the other 3 teams won. And we saw Columbus, they played at a high level. Las Vegas certainly suffered some injuries and had a tough season, but it's been a very, very good inaugural season for the PVF. Samedi misses that ball out of bounds. Let's go over to Madison Fitzpatrick for more on how this match is evolving. San Diego on a roll.
Well, I just listened in on Omaha's timeout, and Coach Bird Kuhn's message was very simple. She said 2 words: composure and urgency. We need to use both of those to terminate.
Thanks, Madison. A change at the setting position. We talked about, I won't call it a battle. That's just not accurate. It was a competition, and the coaches made a decision that Natalia Valentin Anderson would be the starter. But Sydney Hilly out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, comes in an All-American at Wisconsin, a national champion in 2021. And not once, not twice, but 3 times Big Ten Setter of the Year. That's a bold move this early to change your setter. Lindsay Vanderweyde is really, really doing a good job. And Buchkova is talking to her blockers about Tori Dixon moving that ball inside.
For Omaha, I think it's a bigger block in the front row with Sydney Hilly. She's a bigger blocker. Tori Dixon needs to drop that left hand a little bit more.
Tough serve off the top of the tape. Nunaviller is there. Chance in transition, Thomas Aguilera. Hitting 500 so far on the match. Samedi again, this time off Bastianelli down the line.
Stephanie Samedi, right side, back row attack, just hitting with such nice range. Prior, the San Diego libero was sitting in that line, but this time Ali Bastianelli left back.
Stephanie Samedi, a very quick learner coming into the league late after finishing her inaugural, not her inaugural professional season, but her most recent professional season in Turkey, and now having to get comfortable with two different setters. We have come to our first media timeout. Veronica Stone is rocking it here in Omaha, as is San Diego with the lead, Holly.
Tom working her magic, feeding her hitters in San Diego, firing on all cylinders.
All San Diego playing to their namesake, the Mojos, so far in this second semifinal, led by Nutsura Tomcom, one of the world's best setters. They're number 13 in the blue. San Diego on top. Look at the hitting percentage this set.
Wow.
That's how you judge a setter. That's a pretty good differential. 25-20 in the opening set. And now on top, 8-2 at the first media timeout. Samity into the cross court with a much-needed kill. Samity's been just fine. She just needs some help.
And Sydney Hilly is one of my favorite setters to watch. She's a bigger block for Omaha, and that could be a defensive move by head coach Laura Bird-Kuhn.
It give them a little bit of an advantage, more resistance against Temi Thomas-Ailara, who's been the offensive star so far, and doing a pretty good job, not pretty good, a very good job passing the ball. Good set in transition, Samity again. Tomcom with the first contact. Venegas very accurate there, dug by Nunavilla. Two Oregon teammates going after one another, and De La Cruz, that time off of Veronica Stone.
And that's something that head coach Bird-Kuhn wanted to see more back row attack and more middles. You see Betty De La Cruz in transition out of the back row.
De La Cruz now 3 of 11, not unusual for her, no errors. And Samity 8 of 18 with just 1 error, hitting almost 400. Tough serve. Thomas-Ailara handed that pretty darn well. There's Veronica Stone, the league leader in efficiency.
And how about the feed from Nutsara Tomcom? I can't say it enough. That pass was way on the left side of the court, and she makes it look effortless. Look how far over she is.
Dwight, very, very good in the middle back. Taking Hilly out of the...
That's how about Brooke Nunavilla with a little short shot in front of Willow Johnson to score for Omaha.
Nunavilla right now is 4 of 19 with 3 errors. I asked her about the numbers. You know, when you look at it, she was 15 for her last 54, and she said, I'm fine. I'm in good rhythm with both of the setters. I just had one really bad match that's really skewed the numbers. I don't expect her to struggle, if you will, in a match of this magnitude, or any match for that matter. Here is Samity, 11-6 advantage. Wow, that was a really good serve, handled by Venegas. Samity this time out of the back row, touched by Thomas Ailera. A little bit of a collision between Tom Com and Thomas Ailera, but everybody seems to be just fine as Samity will go back again. So Tom Com, setter of the year, first season in the PVF. Well handled by Van de Weyde. Willow Johnson is blocked by Vučkova. Crowd's back in it, Holly.
Vučkova trying to get things started, get some momentum going for Omaha. That's a big stop. She's known for her blocking. Look at how well she closes that seam.
Best blocker in the Chinese league in the recently concluded 23-24 season. San Diego is really passing well. Thomas Ailera. Is this just, again, it's probably a little bit of both, but how does Omaha put more service pressure onto San Diego? They don't seem to have gotten them out of rhythm at all in reception.
I mean, possibly play with depth, that short serve, serving the gap, but that top spin ball that's going right at their platform, San Diego has been able to respond. San Diego has been in system all night. Their numbers are almost 70% passing.
70% on, which is
Samity again out of the back row, has some seam to work with between Bastianelli and Thomas Ailera.
Very busy so far, 10 of 23 for Samity. Good save by White. A little bit unlucky, that ball drifted down into the net and couldn't be followed up on.
Willow Johnson kill on the left side.
8th match with the Supernovas for Stephanie Samity, and what an impact she has had. There were some late season additions. Willow Johnson, notably among them, Steph Samity. Skylar Fields in Columbus. Good short serve, and Sydney Hilly right on the sideline. Not sure she had a lot of choice, but that was really good decision-making and recognition by Hilly.
We're seeing the trend, the short serves, and then Sydney Hilly able to respond with the overhead attack. Blocker's hands weren't up.
Very workable pass, right side Johnson with the off speed, kept alive. San Diego ahead in the point. Van de Weyde, no, out of the middle to Bastianelli.
In transition, Nutsara Tomcom's going to feed the middles, and those middle attacks are a higher percentage kill rate.
Well, Bastianelli on the year hitting 243. Hannah Tapp, one of her backups. It might see Tapp. She's had some injury issues at 287. Dixon down the line. Much more offensive as the season is. And came on for Natalia Valentin Anderson and gotten the crowd back in, and maybe the number 2 seeds back in this match after dropping the opening set 25-20. Nunavilla are now 5 of 20. High flat, nicely done. Willow Johnson told me she absolutely adored her experience in Korea. She was about 100 miles south of Seoul and treated wonderfully, and now she's going to make a decision whether or not she comes. She said, yeah, I think I'm going to play in the PVF if I can make sure I come back to San Diego.
Yeah, she's really enjoying her time with this team. Lots of former teammates, like we said earlier, from the University of Oregon.
Block touch. Thomas Ailera. This is a very deep San Diego team. We talked about that. That's Carson Bacon, is it not, who's come on? Excuse me, it's Morgan Lewis. And that was into the antenna first. A net violation called against De La Cruz. Carson Bacon, along with Morgan Lewis, very, very capable Taylor Raske in as well, and a timeout is called by Omaha. We've come to the second media timeout, and San Diego continues to roll.
Ram Athletics, the largest volleyball-only apparel company in the U.S., is the official uniform and apparel partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation. Here are the official shop.com.
San Diego on top of Omaha, 16-11 Friday night at 11 Eastern. Catch an electrifying fusion of rock and rodeo as legendary artist Kid Rock brings the noise to a star-studded event like no other. Don't miss PBR Kid Rock's Rock and Rodeo right here on CBS Sports Network. Back with three-time Olympian Holly McPeak. Madison Fitzpatrick along the sideline as well on Paul Sunderland. And wow, nice turn by Samity right on the sideline.
Beautiful. Stephanie Samity looked like she was going to go cross court and then late swing down that line.
Samity now with 12 kills on 25 swings, hitting close to 400. Got to start asking if San Diego can come up with an answer for her. Here's Dela Cruz. Crowd loves her. Cruz, dial up an ace. Oh, that's a hard swing. Morgan Lewis, 6'3" outside hitter from Oregon, third-team All-American, hitting over 200, 2.5 kills per set. And she comes from nearby San Diego, just north of there, an area called North County in Encinitas.
And she can score at will. Taiba Hanif Park said she would use her if she needed more offense on that right pin.
Well, that's evidence of a really good arm already. Thomas Aguilera, good location by Raske. San Diego ahead in the point. Got to go to Thomas Aguilera if she's ready. Maybe under. Oh, nice play. Morgan Lewis able to tuck that ball down inside the block and in front of Sydney Hilly. And now it's an 18-12 advantage.
And Morgan Lewis on the right side is really rangy. She hits that, kind of chops it inside the defense of Omaha.
They're known for their chops in Omaha. I had some last night.
Yeah?
Yeah, very
Pretty good?
Very good, very good. Medium rare, more to the rare side. Very good.
Okay.
Very impressive so far by San Diego in many phases. Good reception by Dela Cruz. Bacon just with a light, soft touch and thrown down by Thomas Aguilera. Excuse me. Ronica Stone.
Temi Thomas Aguilera out of system, but look at her throw it down to the middle. Betty De La Cruz was shifting to the line.
Ronica Stone making things happen, mostly known for her offense, but that was a very, very good reaction out of the middle by number 7 in blue. Boy, Omaha is in real trouble right now. 9-3 at home, but it has been all San Diego right now, but you can't count out. We saw Amelia Dimitrova pull herself out of a lot of trouble, and we know that Betty De La Cruz, now in her 16th year as a pro, 17th year if I'm not mistaken, will not go down without a fight. Certainly Brooke Nuneviller won't do it.
Kind of like our first semifinal, yeah. I feel like Grand Rapids came out and got it, and that's what San Diego's doing, and Omaha needs to be way more aggressive and set the tone.
Well, you know who set the tone? Temi Thomas Aguilera in that opening set, 5 of 10, no hitting errors. And for more on how this match continues to develop, let's go over to Madison again on the sideline.
Well, I just listened on Omaha's timeout, and Coach Bird Kuhn said all we can do now is fight. Turn it into practice mode, Omaha Supernovas, and just grind it out right here.
It's a very famous saying. Compete like you are practicing and practice like you're competing.
How about Lindsay Vanderwhite attacking the seam between White and De La Cruz?
Temi Thomas, Ailera, and Van de Weide. Van de Weide has really been on a roll as well. She's 8 of 17, 1 error. I've got to do a little math here and figure out between Temi Thomas, Ailera, and Lindsay Van de Weide what they're doing combined right now is just off the charts for San Diego. Big lead, crowd, quiet again. Good pass by De La Cruz, and the connection's not there. Frustration really seeping in. Tori Dixon unable to get to that off the hand of Sydney Hilly. 21-12. Feels almost insurmountable in this second set. Left side, Nunaviller. Everything is going San Diego's way. That ball is going to be an easy cover, and then 2 Supernovas go for the ball, and it ends up dropping.
And San Diego's in attack mode. Morgan Lewis is a huge block, and she and Ronica Stone just putting up a wall in front of Brooke Nunaviller.
Yeah, where does Sydney Hilly go? You got Samity hitting right side. Nunaviller, who's been effective all season long, out on the left, but struggling so far tonight. Good block touch. Thomas Ailera. Over the top, beautiful dig by De La Cruz. And off the edge, Taylor Raske coming in. Good set in transition. Nunaviller looking to go high flat and missed it out of bounds.
When San Diego brought Morgan Lewis in, they did the double sub. August Raske out of the back row, and she made a fantastic defensive play off the block to score that point for San Diego.
15 kills on 34 swings, 1 error for San Diego. Samity, that ball will get out of bounds, and a absolutely mandatory first ball side out for Samity and for Omaha. Tori Dixon will go back to the line. It's 99% that San Diego will go up 2-0, but there's time, and always there is time and an opportunity. Venegas with a rare reception error.
I feel like that's one of the few points that Omaha's been able to score with their serve.
You know, this is an experienced Supernovas team, be it collegiately or professionally. They just need to start playing some good volleyball before this set ends. They've got time. Thomas Ailera again, a rare hitting error. Tori Dixon said, okay.
Back-to-back points with Tori Dixon on the service line.
That's Thomas Ailera's first hitting error in 20 swings. That's a serving error to Venegas. Oh, good block. Vuchkova along with Samity working on Ronica Stone.
Stephanie Samity steps inside to help Vuchkova. Ronica Stone trying to attack that gap between the 2 blockers, but Omaha closes that gap.
Still 23-16, but again, 4-0 run. Got Nunaviller and the rest of the Omaha Supernovas at least back in the mix, and feeling better about the way they're playing as this moves on to the 3rd set. Look at the season numbers for Omaha on the year. They were 16-8.
High on all the ranks. You see Diggs second, the best serving team in the league, hitting percentage tied for 2nd, kills per set 3rd, and then points per set 3rd. But in my opinion, they haven't been serving the ball tough enough until they've gone on this latest scoring run by Tori Dixon.
Agreed. And the outside attackers, Van de Weide and Thomas Ailera, have just been phenomenal. And then Willow Johnson got off to a reasonable start and then has given way, and they're just getting more and more good production as Morgan Lewis came off the bench wearing number 30 in blue for San Diego.
Passing numbers for San Diego telling a big story as well. Very high.
Lewis again, what a job she has done, a super sub. And Taiba Hanif Park pushing the right buttons right now. 8 set points for Lewis and San Diego. Overpass, Bastianelli is there, and that'll do it. A 2-0 lead. Ali Bastianelli, mostly known for her blocking, is 7 of 10. Now make it 8 of 11 attacking with no errors. San Diego off the charts right now, Holly McPeak, in terms of efficiency and execution. And Nutsara Tomcom, even when she briefly gives way to Rasky, is running this team.
In more than 3.2 million girls compete in high school sports, with volleyball having the second highest participation rate in America. If we can see it, we can beat it. Real pro volleyball. Because opportunities belong to everyone. Because we deserve it. Because we deserve it. Because it's time. It's time. Are you ready for it?
All right, Coach, dominant first 2 sets, but you and I both know you have to win 3. What's the message to the team to keep their foot on the gas pedal?
I think going back to what we do best, and that's block and defense. We've obviously been putting on a show, getting some really good block touches that have been elevating this performance. And so, like you said, it's just, we know they're going to come out harder. Stick to what we know, block and defense.
Love it. Good luck, Coach.
Thank you, Madison and Taiba Enif Park. First season, obviously, coaching, his first head coaching assignment, and really doing a wonderful job. An assistant at the University of Oregon, a 3-time Olympian, silver medals in Beijing and London. And just underway here in the third set with San Diego leading 2-0. Match summary is Brooke Nuneviller gets a much-needed kill. We're talking about Nuneviller during the break. And a comparison, look at the kills, look at the hitting percentages just off the charts for San Diego.
San Diego passing extremely well, and we know Nutsara Tomcom sets up her hitters to score.
Willow Johnson back on the floor after Morgan Lewis went 3 out of 4 down the stretch to close it out for San Diego. Omaha got a little bit of momentum at the end of that set. Tori Dixon was scoring from the service line. They got back into that set even though they lost it 25-16. They lost the first 25-20.
I like that choice by Sydney Hilly to get her middle going in transition. They've been relying so much on their pins.
Temi Thomas-Ailera and Lindsay Vanderweide, 15 kills on 37 swings, 2 errors, hitting .351. And if you add in Bastianelli at 8 of 11, they're hitting that threesome is hitting .438. You don't lose if you hit .438. Samity's been good. Stephanie Samity has been a very bright light. That's 14 kills on 29 swings for Samity.
and we've seen a ton of power from her, which really puts the defense on their heels. You see Venegas backing up, and then the short shot drops.
The Minnesota Golden Gopher, two-time Big Ten Player of the Year, Stella Cruz. She and Nunaviller have been pretty quiet offensively. Bastianelli trying to go deep and missed it out of bounds. That's her first hitting error. Omaha getting exactly what they needed. Desperate for a good start, and they've got that. Bastianelli looking up to see if that ball was out. And it was, because Bolt 6 says it was. Oh, tough serve. I'll tell you what, that's a pretty good pass off of that serve. Bastianelli again, nice dig by White. Off speed, Tom-Com flying around. Good set in transition. Nunaviller. Good read by Thomas Ailera. Really good read. Omaha well ahead in the point and missed out of bounds. Big break for San Diego, but what a defensive move by Temi Thomas Ailera, wearing number 19 in blue.
Temi Thomas Ailera did not play back row for Wisconsin this past season, and she is impressive. Look at the wheels on her to keep that ball alive. She has been so impressive in the back row today.
Thomas Ailera is also passing good or perfect at 57%. Was an opposite most of the season, and a service ace by Ali Bastianelli.
And the San Diego Mojo team does a little dance, the ace dance. Beautiful serve by Bastianelli.
That 1-5 start is really in the rearview mirror. 12-6 since, and outplaying Omaha on their home floor right now. That was hit at Willow Johnson. Look out below. That was a high heater.
On the 3-meter line, Willow Johnson had her helmet on. Got her hands up, but couldn't control it for San Diego.
Samity is still the offensive highlight right now, but she needs some help. She needs, Nunaviller and De La Cruz need to step up their games offensively. They're not point scoring. Nunaviller still can't get the ball to the floor. What a good set in location. Kept alive. Hilly outside to Nunaviller again. Thomas Ailera having the match of her life so far at the offensive end. And then that finally tucked down inside. Vuchkova working over and over again, but just so impressed with number 19, Thomas Ailera.
Look at this transition ball. You see Omaha making that concerted effort to get their middles more involved.
Short serve causing some problems. Omaha returning the favor. San Diego's been serving a lot short and off the edge. Maybe it just rides Stephanie Sammy all night long to get back in this match.
But Omaha stayed ahead in that play because they set it up with the tough short serve, disrupting the offense for San Diego.
Samity is locked in, number 21 in white. Tough serve on Van de Weyde. Van de Weyde is roofed.
Vuchkova is a beast in the middle for Omaha, trying to get her squad fired up with some big defensive stops. Watch Vuchkova in the middle of the court in white for Omaha. Stuff.
Pro Volleyball Federation on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Franklin Sports, a proud partner of the Pro Volleyball Federation on CBS Sports Network, and by Allstate. You're in good hands.
Second semifinal back in Omaha, and finally this big crowd has something to cheer about. Their Supernovas off to an exceptional start. Willow Johnson, number 4 in blue, restoring order just a little bit, the left-handed opposite. What's been the difference right now, particularly on the Omaha side?
I feel like Omaha stepped up their service pressure, got San Diego out of system, and they were able to score with their defense.
Must-win situation for the second seed Omaha Supernovas. Samity is slowed momentarily. Good read by Vanderweide. Thomas Ailera. Perfect delivery by Tom-Com.
And triple block, but Temi Thomas Ailera just too tough to stop. Watch her out of the back row. Vanderweide steps out of the way, and big seam between left blocker and middle blocker for Omaha.
Thomas Ailera now with 8 kills on 21 swings and really set the tone early on in this match, working on Nuneviller. And what a job she's doing defensively. This is a real revelation for Temi Thomas Ailera. Vanderweide getting the ball on Hilly, the setter. Kendall White, that's a, oh, what a block. Lindsay Vanderweide along with Stone, 16 and 7 respectively.
Lindsay Vanderweide, 16 in blue, sets up that block, and then Veronica Stone goes to work, shutting down that angle with her right hand.
There is Johnson. Easily handled by Dela Cruz. And back to Samity, who missed it out of bounds, looking for the touch. And there will not be a challenge, but there well might be. You might have a challenge. Yep, we're going to have a challenge. That there was a block touch on that high swing by Stephanie Samity. Once again, 2 challenges per
Omaha
set.
is challenging.
And as long as you are
touch.
correct, you can hear the announcement there. As long as you are correct, you have an infinite number. Challenge touch off the block or not. You cannot challenge ball in or out, even if you'd want to, because it's all done electronically. Then you can challenge foot fault on the center line, 3-meter line, and of course on the service line. Thanks again for joining us. Grand Rapids, the number 4 seed, took out the Atlanta Vibe, the number 1 overall seed and regular season champion. Atlanta suffered a couple of key injuries, but Grand Rapids played exceptional volleyball. Claire Chasse and Delia Dimitrova were really, really spectacular throughout. And so far it has been all San Diego, but a pretty nice response with their backs against the wall for Omaha. So they were challenging touch.
No, they were challenged net touch.
There was a net violation on, I think that's Lindsay Vanderweide. So the point and kill will go to Stephanie Samity. So even if you're challenging net or challenging block touch, you can look at both of them in this particular system. So that's a 2-point switch. Omaha back on top by 3. Stone on the slide. Let's send it back over to the sideline. I know, Madison, you were listening in on San Diego.
Yeah, well, Coach Hanif Park said we need to step up our net defense. Hold the block for longer. Don't fade out of it. And if you get a good block touch, slow down that next contact. And after that, you can tell they've become a lot more disciplined in this area of the game.
It's really interesting about a difference in philosophy. Very accurate swing. To Taiba Hanif Park's point about that 13-day break they had when they really wanted to solidify what their offensive philosophy was. And she said, slow down. Put a little more air under that second contact if they get a good block deflection. Thomas Ailera calling for it again. Free ball to San Diego. Stone on the slide. No. Going to Thomas Ailera. Not the best contact, but San Diego will take it.
Temi Thomas Ailera, we've been talking about how good she's been. She's done so much for this San Diego team. Played opposite a lot of the season, and now has had to shift to the left, and still so impressive.
Good reaction by Tom-Com. Smart shot, getting San Diego back ahead in the point. Dug by Kendall White. And then right into the campfire. That's a smart shot. Thomas Aguilera has slowed a little bit. She would have had to. She was almost unstoppable at the beginning of this match. She's now 9 of 25.
Betty De La Cruz, little soft spot right over the block. Omaha needed that one.
Yes, they did. They need everyone they can get, trailing 2-0. Want to get this crowd very much back involved. Nice pass by Venegas. De La Cruz going off speed again. Gets her team with an advantage in the point. Not cleanly handled by Omaha. Thomas Aguilera is blocked. They figured it out a little bit, and maybe she's getting a little bit fatigued. There was a lot of energy and a lot of excitement the first couple of sets, and now halfway into the third almost for Temi Thomas Aguilera.
Sydney Hilly and Tori Dixon slowed that one down, but in that rally for San Diego, Willow Johnson had 2 big-time digs and right back.
Puchkova misses that ball out of bounds. That will get San Diego back within 3. San Diego easily won the opening set 25-20, and then even in a more comfortable fashion won the second set 25-16. Offensive, just off the charts. Still hitting over 310. Short serve again. De La Cruz, dug by Van der Weide. The defense for San Diego has been superb. Those 2 positions, Van der Weide and Temi Thomas Aguilera. Brooke Nuneviller trying to get herself and her team rolling. She is now 8 of 34 for Brooke Nuneviller.
And out of the middle, going wrist away, finding that corner for Omaha, firing up her team too. They're trying to get some momentum on their side of the net.
Thomas Aguilera continues to pass the ball exceptionally well. That ball out of bounds by Johnson.
Willow Johnson trying to go down that line.
Might see Morgan Lewis off of the bench for San Diego. She came in and played very effectively in the second set. Was 3 of 4. Bastianelli, good block by Tori Dixon out of the middle.
And Omaha needs that. Some defensive stops bring the offensive numbers from San Diego down.
The lead is 6. Trying to overcome a 2-set, and ball will sail well long. Again, they played 4 times during the regular season and split the 2. Had some very, very competitive matches along the way. 2 of those matches went the total 5 sets. Stephanie Samity, offensively right now as a point scorer, is carrying Omaha.
She certainly is, and that time pushes it in the gap. Watch this ball on the right side. Big hole between the 2 blockers, and Samity throws it down for the Omaha point.
Ladies, let's check out the players of the week from this season.
Second seed Omaha Supernovas needed a strong response, and they got exactly that, leading San Diego here in the third 16-10. CBS Sports recognizes May as Mental Health Awareness Month, a time to reflect on our own mental wellness and to support family, friends, and people in our communities on their journey. We are proud to declare that mental health is health indeed. Substitution coming on the floor now for Taiba Hanif Park. Valeria Papa, 6 feet, out of Genova, Italy, has played for 12 different clubs in Italy and Poland during the course of her career. And coming in now to replace Temi Thomas Ailera. And I maybe a little bit fatigued. I mean, she really, what's the right word, flatlined over the last 10 or 15 swings after she was absolutely red hot. Maybe this will give Thomas Ailera a chance to recompose and come back out. What a strong start. She was 7 of her first 10. 5 of her first 10.
Well, she hasn't always played 6 rotations.
Oh, good point.
Defense in the back row, the serve receive. It's a lot more that they're asking. So I like Taiba Hanif Park giving her a little rest.
And we've seen all the teams around the league have very, very serviceable depth. And Morgan Lewis is back on the floor as well, wearing number 30 in blue.
And the best server in PVF, Betty De La Cruz, gets another one. Ooh, that one goes wide.
That one.
Thought that one dropped in.
And so did all of the fans.
Ooh,
that would have been ace number 33. Instead, it stays at 32 for Betty De La Cruz. Ali Bastinelli back to serve, been very, very good, hitting over 400. Yeah. They need her to play the way she was the beginning of the match when she was the best player on the floor at both ends in receiving and defense and in attacking, and Samity just keeps rolling along. What do you do with a player that is, clever's not the right word, but just so versatile in her ability to score on the outside?
Well,
pass by Papa.
Obviously, you want to try and slow her down, but you try and make the rest of the team beat you because she's going to get her points. Morgan Lewis, high contact point down that line, number 30 in blue.
Morgan Lewis now 4 of 5 coming off the bench for Willow Johnson, and for Samity now 20 kills on 38 swings. Her season high, her career high in the PVF is 21. Marcus Rasky on the floor as well, taking over at the setting position.
Got a double sub, and Morgan Lewis will stay in the back row as the offensive threat.
Tough chance. Vanderweyde just rolling this ball in play. Kendall White all over that, but Omaha did not take advantage. Nunaviller working hard in between contact, still can't get rolling offensively. And tipped over the top by Lindsay Vanderweyde. Vanderweyde wearing number 16. Stout outside hitter, 6'3".
This ball pushed by August Rasky, and then the soft touch over the block by Lindsay Vanderweyde. I like that decision.
Easy to Nunaviller. And Taylor Rasky gets the block. Number 1
August
in blue.
Rasky.
Excuse me.
That's okay. August Rasky up over the net quick for San Diego, and nobody's having more fun than August Rasky. Watch these hands, good press on the opponent's side of the net.
Tough serve, but well handled by Nunaviller.
Wow.
That ball is in. There's no challenging it, and that was just a rocket by Samity once again as Nunaviller goes back to the line. Working on Papa. Good read by Sydney Hilly coming off of the front right to get that tip. Joust with De La Cruz. Oh, look at that. August Rasky, good to be left-handed. She's a pretty good size setter.
She's a dynamic setter, and yes, having that left hand as an offensive option when you're in the front row, definitely an asset in transition.
Another player out of the University of Oregon from Colorado Springs, originally playing in Italy and most recently in France. Samity again.
Samity working the outside of Papa's block.
22 kills now for number 21, Stephanie Samity. 22 kills on 42 swings, hitting over 440. Those are astronomical numbers. Paige Briggs on to serve. She's got an arm of her own. Papa quickly off the edge of the block and out of bounds. Been bothered a little bit by a sore knee and working her way back into the lineup. She's played a lot of volleyball for San Diego so far on the year. Number 12 from Genova, Italy. Time for San Diego, but a must-win situation for Omaha, trailing 2-0. Perfect pass and side out by Dixon. Really good reception by Nunaviller.
And Tori Dixon going after Papa on the block, the left side blocker for San Diego. She's smaller than Temi Thomas-Ailara and not over the net. Dixon takes advantage.
Tom comes back on. Rasky did a good job. The lead is still at 5. Lewis tipping the first time, slowed here by Tori Dixon. Tom with the first contact. Dug by Dela Cruz, Nunaviller out of the pipe, and gets it right into the middle of the defense. Tom along with Venegas were headed right towards each other, and that was smart to pull off.
There's a little bit of hesitation, but well-placed ball right in the middle of the court again in transition. That back row attack. Venegas and Tom look at each other.
Papa pretty good in reception until that overpass. And this set is quickly getting away, and the crowd very much back into it. The CHI Health Center in downtown Omaha. Timeout called by San Diego. Let's go inside the huddle once again here in Omaha, brought to you by Girl Talk. Omaha certainly feeling a lot better about the way things are going.
Well, they need to put the foot on the gas and really take advantage, be more aggressive. And you see Coach Bird Kuhn saying, hey, let's keep rolling. Let's keep making things happen on our side of the net.
Well, they've done a better job from the service line, more consistent pressure. Stephanie Samity, I mean, nobody had an answer from her when she was playing in the Big Ten, and don't have an answer for her now. She's having a huge night offensively in San Diego, and rightfully so, has gone to their bench to some effect, but they've just been outplayed in this set. We didn't think Omaha was going to go away.
Well, Temi Thomas-Ailara getting a rest. She was having a little snack on the bench, trying to fuel up because a lot more match ahead of them.
It looked to me like she got fatigued, and you made a really interesting point. Obviously, when she was an opposite in this league, she was playing 6 rotations, but she was out of the passing. And now there's, she's the main target for every team that San Diego plays. And she held up very, very nicely at the beginning of this match. Dug by Nunaviller. Dela Cruz into the cross court away from Venegas.
Betty De La Cruz starting to light up on the left side.
Set point number 1. The crowd on their feet, and they'll get there again. Still a set point, 24-17, 7 to come. Crowd very much back in contact. We didn't think any of these matches would go the minimum. None of the sets have been close so far. There is Dixon, dug by Tom. Good stab by Hilly. Free ball to San Diego. Right side. Lewis has got such a heavy arm. That just got a different sound.
I think what makes Morgan Lewis special is the way she gets to the ball and her high point of contact. She's got range both ways.
Really, really good numbers for San Diego's Lewis. 5 of 10, no errors. Set point number 3. Why not? Stephanie Samity has been the offensive star for the Supernovas. They're back in it. They live to play at least another set, and the crowd is certainly back involved. strong performance in response by Omaha.
And Stephanie Samity on the right side ends things for Omaha and pushes this to a 4th set.
I want to say myself, because I was colorfully dressed for something for sure. But probably best dress, I'm going to have to work with best dress. Okay. That sounds a little bit, because we come back off the block. I think Abby is really great dress. I needed it for me. But yeah, normally, off the top of my head.
Stephanie Samity for the Omaha Supernovas, nearly perfect Holly McPeak in that 3rd set. Must-win situation to stay alive. 10 kills on 16 swings, hitting over 500, only had 1 miscue.
Stephanie Samity is drilling her serve from the back line, but it's her offense making things happen for Omaha, helping them push this 4th set. She has 23 kills, and we are just 3 sets into this match, hitting 470.
Have Thursday and Friday off, so don't leave anything in the bag. And we were talking about what Taiba Hanif Park might do with her lineup. Temi Thomas-Ailara is back in the lineup, but also staying with Carson Bacon. What do you think about those minor adjustments by San Diego?
Carson Bacon is not in.
Excuse me, I misspoke. Morgan Lewis.
I like that decision. I think Morgan Lewis proved that she can score.
Sorry to confuse you.
I was looking.
Thomas-Ailara had a little bit of a rest period over on the sideline and comes out with an opening kill. Let's send it over back to the sideline and Madison Fitzpatrick.
Well, in that little break, San Diego's timeout was very defense-focused. As far as floor defense is concerned, she said, see the open hand of the tip and be expectant to crash in for that. And then as far as blocking is concerned, she said, we blocked a lot in the first 2, and we need to step that up defensively. Make sure to get all the way out to the pin on Samity. We have to work to slow her down.
Yeah, that's good stuff, Madison. I really agree with that, because right now, it seems like San Diego isn't taking anything away from Samity. You got to take away something and funnel her to the defense. Here's De La Cruz. Lewis going off speed, easily handled. Bastianelli couldn't keep that ball in play. Nutsara Tomcom immediately saying, my bad. She was there for the tip and just mishandled it. Ali Bastianelli got off to a really good start. to Taiba and Heath Park's point about blocking, was really good in that phase in the opening couple of sets. That's going to be a service winner by De La Cruz, and here comes Omaha.
Betty De La Cruz, the best server in the Pro Volleyball Federation, just cranks at fantastic pace on that ball, gets away from Venegas.
Handled by Van de Weyde. And Lewis slicing and dicing into the cross court, but out of bounds. Once again, the call done electronically, and it's such a good system. It's so fast. Tennis has gone to it. That ball out of bounds by a wide margin. Quick start, 4-1 for Omaha. Grand Rapids waiting in the wings. They took out the #1 overall seed and regular season champions from Atlanta. 3-2, 15-8 in the 5th set. Good service pressure right now from Omaha. That ball over the top of the block and out of bounds. Van de Weyde wants to challenge for a touch. And Deetra Collins, who handles the pad over there as far as the challenging, it has several different categories. You have to touch specifically, and you have to do it within 8 seconds. So we'll have a challenge.
San Diego is challenging, block, touch.
And 2 challenges per set. As long as you're correct, you just keep on going. It's a really, really good system.
Taiba, Hanif Park talking to Morgan Lewis. Looks like Morgan Lewis has taken a little something off of it and missing it instead of finishing on top of the ball, driving it down for San Diego.
Well, let's get this challenge cleared up. I don't see any movement on the blocker's fingers. But there's a pad on the side of each team, and you have to press it within those 8 seconds of exactly what you want to challenge. Ball, you can't challenge ball in or out, but net touch or a block touch, and that ball out of bounds, and De La Cruz still at the service line. Really good first contact. He'd like to have that one back. Magnificent dig by De La Cruz. Van de Weyde, right back at you by Kendall White. Some heavy hitting. Omaha ahead in the point, out of the middle. Ball's not down yet, now it is. Tori Dixon working so hard, and a 6-0 run by Omaha over San Diego.
And now Omaha playing really good defense and then able to score out of the middle to finish that rally.
Cruz going up here at the CHI Health Center. That was a good service run. Betty De La Cruz, she's angry at herself, but she really did her job. And I'm wondering if Taiba Hanif Park could get 2 timeouts per team. The media timeout comes at 8, but that's a very, very close call as to whether you take one there to try to get De La Cruz out of rhythm and off the service line. Easy serve, perfect pass. And Brooke Nunaviller, the Omaha fans would like to see a lot more of that. She struggled offensively, to be honest. That's 10 of 40.
Kendall White, perfect pass, sets up this offense for Brooke Nunaviller, who goes high and flat off of Veronica Stone.
That was a really, really clever set out to Morgan Lewis by Venegas, the libero. Shara Venegas changing direction here on this underhanded set, and it's really, really well done. Update you on Morgan Lewis's numbers. They have been exceptional since she came into the match. She was 3 of 4 when she came off the bench, and now Morgan Lewis is 6 of 14. And Stephanie Samity will be at the line when we come back from this short timeout. We've come to the first media timeout. Second semifinal. Omaha trying to even this at 2 sets apiece.
Stop by section 110 to check out exclusive gear to commemorate the inaugural BVF season and championship event.
multiple errors. The setting's been just fine. I just got to give San Diego some credit with their block defense, and what Taiba Hanif Park had to say about getting back into their blocking scheme. Here is Samity. Couple of service errors, jump serve variety from Dela Cruz and also from Samity. As Lindsay Vandeweide will go back to serve for San Diego. We'll update you on her numbers as well. She, like Temi Thomas Ailara, got off to a very, very good start. Good hustle by San Diego. Omaha should convert. Good block touch that time by Ronica Stone. And a better block by Vučkova.
Vučkova gives this Omaha team so much energy with this defensive stop. Temi Thomas Ailara was unconscious the first part of this match, but Vučkova shuts down that sharp angle on this one.
Temi Thomas Ailara was 5 for her first 10. She's 5 for her last 21. In contrast, going to Ronica Stone and missed it out of bounds. Willow Johnson back on the floor, replacing Morgan Lewis. And Omaha is rolling right now. None of these sets have been close at all. 25-20, 25-16, 25-18. I am surprised by that. They played the 5 sets twice during the regular season. Bacon trying to throw the ball into the campfire and into the cross court. Samity. Veronica Stone, a really good slide hitter, unable to get that ball to the floor.
How about Samity again, cross body, attacking that right back position for Omaha.
Bird Kuhn very happy to have number 21 on her side, at least now. Thomas Ailara have really adjusted well against her. Dela Cruz, smart shot off the edge of the block.
Dela Cruz, really nice recognition of who's at the net blocking and just using the outside hand of the blocker. Now Omaha has all the momentum.
And San Diego could wait no longer. They burned a timeout. And what a roller coaster ride. Taiba Hanif Park. She's used to it with this team. Started 1-5, 12-6 since then. Or 2-6, and then 12-6 after that. August Rasky doing most of the talking in this particular break. What do they most need to focus on to turn this back around in their favor?
Well, there's a couple things. Obviously, being a little bit more efficient with their first contact and siding out at a higher clip. So that's a good pass where Nutsara Tomcom can run her middles, and that's a high percentage play that really frees up their pins. And that's why Temi Thomas Ailara was off to such a great start, because they had established their middles.
And Lindsay Vandeweide, both of them bookended on the outside. And I agree with you. If I'm San Diego, they've been passing well enough throughout the course of the evening, but their good to perfect passing has dropped way off. Remember, they were over 60%. They've dropped down to number 40 to 41%. So that puts an awful lot of pressure on Temi Thomas Ailara, who was off to such a good start and went to the sideline to get some rest, and now they're serving her again. And on the overpass. Let's go to Madison once again and more on the Mojo.
Coach Hanif Park said, we can't play like we're afraid to lose, and right now we are. And then she looked at Tomcom and said, let's go back to the slide. Ronica, take your time and stay behind that set.
Looking for some less stressful side out points. Cut inside, dug by Dela Cruz. Vandeweide missed it wide. That was very close. Everything going the way right now of Omaha. Second seeded, 16-8 on the year. San Diego, after that tough start, a lot of it schedule driven, really good opponents, and also their first 3 matches on the road, they finished at 13-11. Good pass by Venegas. Thomas Ailara again, and missed that out of bounds. And a touch off the top of the Omaha block. No argument from Vučkova. Oh, she's saying no touch. The first official, the first referee, called a touch Grace Loberg, who had spent some of the year on injured reserve, wearing number 9 in blue for San Diego. So a touch was called on the attack on the left side. Loberg will come in. Played at Wisconsin, a national champion in 2022 is Loberg. Very, very good volleyball player. Strange match in a way that none of these sets have been really close or stressful or dynamic at all. Not at all. Once again, to review, a touch was called against Omaha. But Kristina Vučková said no way and was really emphatic about it. There's Loberg getting ready.
San Diego looking for a spark something. I don't see a touch.
Neither do I. Really good hand position by Vučková. And once again, the Bolt 6 system. Semi Thomas Aguilera, as good a start as she got off to, has really struggled since. And so Loberg will come down a 7-0 run. What a bold prediction. We're going 5, Holly.
Yes, we most likely are.
And we'll see if Loberg can come in and stabilize the passing and get some kills on the outside. Immediately they go after her. Yeah, that's not brain surgery. Grace Loberg's been standing on the sideline. Didn't exactly know what time this match started, but she's been standing a long time. And so the second final timeout will be used by San Diego. 16-4 is the lead for De La Cruz, Nunaviller, Vučková, and Sydney Hilly. We'll step aside. Looks like we're going to go 5, just like we did in the first semifinal when Grand Rapids took out the top seeds from Atlanta. More from Omaha right after this. Well, this crowd in Omaha was completely stressed out after the first couple of sets, but now they're dancing with joy, leading 16-4, and Omaha well on their way to tying this match against San Diego, 2 sets all. They played 5 sets twice during the regular season, and Brooke Nunaviller out of the University of Oregon will go back to the line. Out of system again, Loberg getting her first swing, and that ball is blocked out of bounds. The crowd thought that was stuffed straight down. Number 9 in blue, Loberg, getting the kill off the edge of the block.
Not easy to do. She gets served right off the bat and then gets set, but answers on the second one.
Loberg, Ronica Stone, and the rest of the San Diego Mojo need a big run if they can muster one. Samity's looking for a touch off the block, and she's emphatic about it, so we're going to have another challenge.
One thing Grace Loberg can produce is a huge block on the left side. Maybe that's a matchup that Taiba Hanif Park is looking for San Diego.
Omaha is challenging for a block touch.
Samity, who's been superb from the start to, we're not nearly to the finish yet, but it's again updating on her numbers. 24 kills, that's a career high with Omaha on 47 swings. Hitting over 430 so far on the evening for number 21. Those are just unbelievable numbers, and as we've done these matches, Holly, in this league, yeah, there's a touch on the index finger right there of Loberg, so that's going to go down as another kill. The crowd can see it on the big screen in the building, and Stephanie Samity knew it right away. Pliskova doing her best Novak Djokovic impersonation, bouncing the ball about 15 times.
Nutsara Tomcom, a very good server strategically. Watch her serve a seam or drop it short.
From Thailand, and coincidence, the United States is playing Thailand in Rio de Janeiro at some time today. We were looking for the scores before the first serve of the earlier semifinal, but we've been a little busy since then. Sydney Hilly inserted into the lineup, replacing Natalia Valentina Anderson, who's been very, very good. Headed towards a fifth set tiebreaker. Service pressure from Omaha is much improved. That could have been called a lift. Letting them play on. Samedy Bastianelli, along with the matchup you were talking about, Loberg.
Loberg on the left side, finally able to slow down Samedy, who's been the hot hitter all night long for Omaha.
Very easy serve. Back to Samedy again. Again, 2 days off. You don't even care if she hits 70 or 80 balls tonight. Good block touch by Dixon. Dela Cruz, dug by Loberg. Hustling at the defensive end. And Nuneviller off the edge of Bastianelli and out of bounds.
I think Nuneviller's offensive numbers out of the back row are better than her front row numbers. You see the block cheating out to that left pin for Betty De La Cruz, and that opens things up for Nuneviller out of the back row.
De La Cruz already a couple of aces and service winners so far on the night. Good pressure here. Van der Weide just having to roll way out of system. Going to Samedy a lot. Good high flat. And out of the back row, De La Cruz able to put the ball away. They've got a lot of versatility because they have a number of players, not only Samedy, but De La Cruz and Nuneviller, who can attack from behind the 3-meter line.
When we talked to Bird Kuhn on Sunday, she said, look, we need to run more back row and more middle. And I think we've seen more back row success from both pin hitters.
Johnson dug by De La Cruz. Nuneviller, a little bit more speed to the outside.
And the speed is what helps create opportunities for Brooke Nuneviller, working the inside hand of Bastianelli.
Holly, I'm trying to get a handle on this match because once San Diego outplays Omaha decisively through 2 sets, and then De La Cruz, Nuneviller et al. Come right back and do exactly the same in return. Making it look easy. I have no idea what's going to happen in the 5th set.
Neither do I, but I can't wait to see what happens.
Well, it's been an interesting match. I'm not sure it's been played at the high. What's happening is teams are taking turns playing at a super high level, and the other side is going in the complete opposite direction.
Hopefully they can both maintain that high level in the 5th set, because it looks like we're going to one.
United States women's Olympic team is in their first leg of the VNL. That's the annual big competition each and every summer. United States Olympic team, they defeated Thailand 3-1. They'll play China, Brazil, the Dominican Republic, and then Canada coming up after that. It's a very, very busy summer, and the travel is really, really challenging. And another huge challenge, and we've talked about it a lot, is for Karch Kirai to narrow his 30-player VNL roster down to just 12, and you do get an alternate in case of a tournament-ending injury. So always one of the toughest jobs in all of volleyball, and I mean anywhere on the planet. So we wish Karch you well, and better him than me.
San Diego wants to get some momentum. Obviously, it doesn't look like they're going to be able to come back in this set. You want to get some momentum on your side of the net.
I want to see the lineup that Taiba Hanif Park puts on the floor. Tori Dixon.
That's something we didn't see earlier in this match from Omaha. They weren't able to get their middles going. But now, really impressive. Sydney Hilly going to Tori Dixon.
San Diego being outscored 15-3 right now in this 4th set. Tight set, and Nuneviller against her old teammate, shoves it out of bounds.
And Willow Johnson knew that was coming, tried to get up and seal that line, and Nunaville are still able to tool it off the outside hand.
Let me say it, 17 set points. De La Cruz has been really good from the service line. She's giving her teams opportunities. Van de Weyde off the edge of the block, but this is going to be way too little too late. Veronica Stone comes back on. Set point number 2 to force a 5th set. Here's Bastianelli. The opening semifinal went 5 as well, won by Grand Rapids. And that'll do it. Going 5. On Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time, 2 teams will play in the $1 million match. We know half of that equation is Grand Rapids. Will it be Omaha or will it be San Diego? They have both taken turns dominating one another. We'll see what happens in the tiebreaker right after this. Just like in the opening semifinal, we're going to go to the 15-point tiebreaker again. Teams are taking turns, dominating one another, and never more so than in the 4th set by Omaha, 25-8. Look at the match summary. Omaha starting to get it going offensively. Look what they're hitting now overall as a team through 4 sets.
It's incredible. We saw San Diego heavy the first 2 sets, and then Omaha dominated the second 2. I mean, this could be very interesting.
Interested to see what Madison found out over on the sideline from each of these teams.
Well, in the San Diego huddle, the echo around the huddle was, we love 5 sets. The last 2 sets, throw them away. The first 2 sets were us. Swing high, come out aggressive, and we love 5 sets.
Opened up in a couple of changes. Interesting lineup on the floor. Hannah Tapp, who hasn't played. Maybe she played very sparingly early in the match. It's been so long. And then also Valeria Papa on the floor with Temi Thomas-Ailara.
Hannah Tapp, this is her first time in the match in the 5th set.
Nice play defensively. That is tough to do. She's been standing for a long time. Nunaviller on the pipe. Stone.
Was that a statement or a question? I'm so sorry. It's so hard to hear you.
Good work by Ronica Stone. And another swing. Dug by Tap. Nunaviller, good first contact in defense. And Stephanie Samity, long rally, long opening rally. And quickly San Diego out 2-0. Once 15-point tiebreaker, 2 timeouts per team, 2 challenges, and the teams will not change sides.
And Hannah Tapp coming into the match cold, but she came up with 2 big digs for San Diego so far.
In for Bastianelli. What a swing by De La Cruz. Really interesting note. Sydney Hilly came on to replace Valentine Anderson. And through the end of the 4th set, with her on the floor, Omaha had outscored San Diego 65-45.
Wow.
And to Madison's point about loving 5-set matches, this is the 11th 5-set match on the season for San Diego. At one point, they played 6 in a row in April. Thomas Aguilera. What a contrast from the start she got off to. That ball not set well by Venegas.
Missed opportunity after the cover by San Diego.
Out of system. Papa gonna have to take a swing from behind the 3-meter line. Samity again. Venegas with a sprawling save. Free ball. Omaha looking for a little bit of a mini run. Back to Samity again. Dug by Vanderweyden. Nunaviller in transition after the dig. Early momentum rally and missed out of bounds by Thomas Aguilera.
Taiba Hanif Park, the head coach for San Diego, now has Thomas Aguilera on the right side.
Exactly.
Trying to keep her in system. Papa opposite Vanderweyden on the left.
Chance again for Omaha to extend the lead. Smart up into the block by De La Cruz, but not well covered, and Kendall White angry at herself. All De La Cruz is trying to do there is recycle.
And it gets away from Kendall White.
De La Cruz is such an experienced, classy leader. She went right to Kendall White. No problem. Let's just move it on.
Brooke Nunaviller talked about the relationship with Betty De La Cruz. She says, look, I know Betty has my back, and we fight together on the court. And she said it's such a great feeling having her as a teammate.
Very easy serve. That's way too easy. And Samity cannot do that.
Service pressure is crucial, and you cannot give Omaha the ball easy. Sydney Hilly, very skilled at keeping her hitters in system, especially the hot hitter, Stephanie Samity of Omaha.
In a dominant 4th set for Omaha, De La Cruz was really, really good at the service line. Papa able to tuck that ball down inside Dixon.
The veteran from Italy, Papa number 12, sneaks it through the block.
We haven't talked about pressure in the first 4 sets because none of those were close. Who's it on in this set?
Well, both teams.
Yeah, well, for sure. But I think a little bit more on Omaha, being at home and certainly being the favorite with their home record.
But they also won the 4th set handily, so had a lot of momentum coming into this set. For San Diego, they needed to turn things around.
Valeria Papa at the line once again. Good pass by White. Not a good set. Samity did really good work there. Sydney Hilly set that ball too tight, but Samity got to it at a high point and was able to tip it off the side of the block of San Diego.
Lindsay Vanderweyden acting like she didn't touch it, but then gives into it. Samity so smart on that right side.
Just racking up the numbers Temi Thomas Ailera back in her more comfortable and usual position. Samity has 27 kills on 56 swings, hit 390.
And San Diego locking back into that good pass. Look at Venegas put that in Tom-Tom's hands.
Brooke Nunaviller has been really good in reception, struggled a little bit. So we'll have another challenge off that kill by Thomas Ailera. You can challenge 3-meter line football. You need to be, if you're a back row attacker, you need to be completely behind the line. Finish the thought on Nunaviller. Struggling a little bit offensively, but she's had her second 20-dig performance. If you go back to her Pac-12 days, the only player, way
not even
behind.
close. I didn't see it.
No, I did.
Right in front of us.
But Nunaviller, 1,500 kills and 2,000 digs during her very successful run at Oregon. Samity again.
Papa almost gets that up in the backcourt for San Diego.
Samity's got a very dangerous jump serve as well to go along with De La Cruz. Tied at 6. We will have a media timeout when a team reaches 8. Teams will not change sides. Tough serve, Tom-Com keeping the ball off the floor. De La Cruz, perfect first contact. Look out!
Tough serve by Omaha, sets up the play, and then the fastball. Brooke Nunaviller, Tom-Com had still chasing that ball, so one-on-one on the left side.
And De La Cruz with an outstanding contact to get her team ahead in the point. Oh, and it hit Thomas Ailera. That'll get us to the media timeout, and Omaha will head to the sideline with all the momentum and the crowd on their feet in this building. Back in Omaha, talking about who the pressure might be on. Well, right now it's squarely on the San Diego Mojo. No question about that, with Madison Fitzpatrick on the sideline, Holly McPeak with me here at the table. I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks for joining us. Both of these semifinals, the first ever in league history, as the first season comes to a close, both going 5 sets. It was Grand Rapids in the opener, 15-8 in the 5th set, and with a service error, Omaha now leading by only 1. And a better blocking lineup with Tom-Com in the back row, Tap, Van de Weyde, and Thomas Ailera in the front court now for San Diego. Oh no, only one attacker. Thomas Ailera, Tom-Com went to step over, and Thomas Ailera didn't know that she was there and stepped up right into the legs of Tom-Com. Leyva Park coming over and checking on her All World setter. Sorry, Tom-Com, everybody's okay. That was just a bit of bad luck.
It was, because Temi Thomas Ailera was right front and came all the way across the court to dig that ball, just right on top of her.
Papa, that's a tough chance. Oh, what a good save. Sarah Tom-Com, maybe only 5'5", but she used all of that to get the ball into the middle.
Incredible play. Sarah Tom-Com was back row. Gets to the net in one-hand set to get this to hand attack.
That was a really, really big play. And I would call it a save, actually. Samity again. Chance to tie Valeria. Papa ripping that ball down the line. Brilliant set again by Tom-Com.
Tom-Com's on that 3-meter line, pushing the pace to Papa on the left. And Hannah Tapp also yelling for that gap set.
A lot of balls going to Stephanie Samity, and why not? She's got 29 kills, just one off the league record set recently by Lindsay Vanderweyde. Papa had a chance, would love to have that one back. Off the top of the tape, changes the trajectory a little bit. 10-9. De La Cruz with 11 kills, hitting just over 280. Paige Brooks on the floor now. Good serve. Omaha well ahead in the point. Coming to De La Cruz. Papa trying to respond in his roof.
What a defensive stop for Omaha. Sydney Hilly, Tori Dixon, all over that.
Timeout, San Diego. 8th block on the night for Omaha. Looking to pull off a reverse sweep. Lost the opening set 25-20. San Diego was on fire 25-16. And then here comes Omaha. See, they changed sides after the second set. I mean, that's the whole deal. It's unbelievable. 25-18, then 25-8. 25-8 over San Diego. And now Bird Kuhn visiting with her team. Omaha 4 points away from playing for the championship in the $1 million match on Saturday, 4:30 Eastern Time, right here once again on CBS Sports Network.
Look for Tom-Com to go to Hannah Tapp or Thomas Ilara, middle or right side.
You know, you always look for things that turned it around, the insertion of Sydney Hilly, but it's just been one team was on a roll, and now it's completely changed. Very uneven match, if you will. Good pass by Vanderweyde. And exactly what you said, Hannah Tapp out of the middle, but missed it on the gap.
I love the connection. Tapp just a little too much on it, but what a set by Nutsara Tom-Com. Now, Omaha 3 points away.
First ever match played in this building at the start of the PVF season. Omaha pulled off a reverse sweep, and now the next to last match played in this building if Omaha is able to close it out. Just 3 points away. Right side. Thomas Ilara, no. Valeria Papa off the left side. There is time. There is plenty of time. 2-point differential.
1 point at a time if you're San Diego, and they need a big stop. Front row, pretty big, but Omaha most likely going to Samity out of the back row on that right side where they've had so much success.
Maris Velez, a backup libero, but playing as a defensive specialist tonight on to serve. Good pass by Nunaviller. Samity again off the block and out of bounds. Stone was there with Papa, but Samity up to it. And now ties the league record in this inaugural season with Lindsay Vanderweyde with 30 kills. Stone was in a good spot. That just deflected out of bounds. Crowd is on their feet, and they get very quiet when one of the Supernovas serves. Papa again.
Pretty much a double quick, a gap and a go, and Papa on the outside, able to score. San Diego just needs some stops.
They need one stop to really put a lot of pressure on Omaha.
Tom-Com in the front row for San Diego.
Good point. Thomas Ilara. Short serve. Coming to Papa, and pretty good. Oh, she's roof. Match point. Samity doing it offensively. This time putting on a defender's jersey with a big stuff block. And look who's back at the line. Just listen to the crowd. Betty De La Cruz. 3 match points for the reverse sweep. Back to Papa. Got to come to Samity. No, to Nunaviller for the win.
fight that your team has?
They've been resilient all season, and we had a gut check there after 2 sets, and that's what it was. I'm like, we have a long match left. You guys got to grind like we're at practice, and I'm so proud of this group because they believed, and that's what it took. You have to believe all the time.
Absolutely, and Samity, 30 kills. How big did she come up for you guys tonight?
Stunned, and she's so casual about it. So casual about it. She's out there just like doing her job.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck in the finals.
What a remarkable turnaround and a remarkable day. The first 2 semifinals, and Stephanie Samity, certainly the biggest story, and she's so calm about it. Wasn't always calm when she got that big roof against Papa at the end. First 2 semifinals in league history go 5 sets, so it'll be Grand Rapids and Omaha, 4:30 Eastern time. Your final thoughts? Kind of a strange match, quite honestly.
Definitely, but both teams who are going to be in the finals struggled and had to respond back and come up big in the 5th set. So battle tested, and it's going to be an interesting matchup on Saturday.
Really interesting numbers right around the dial. Very, I would say, evenly played at the end. Betty De La Cruz, just the ultimate professional. Brooke Nuneviller, 20 digs to go along with 15 kills. And the final is set. Grand Rapids will take on Omaha. For Madison Fitzpatrick and my partner Holly McPeak, I'm Paul Sunderland. Thanks so much for watching the Pro Volleyball Federation on CBS Sports Network. Good night, everybody.